Hi everyone, Eileen here, and it's time for another Lavinia Stamps video tutorial from me to you. Today I'm featuring a couple of the new stamps from the new Lavinia Stamps release. Have a look over on the website and you'll see the most wonderful designs. They were released yesterday. I'm using Garden Poppy, which is this one. I've stamped it twice. And also part of a stamp from a set called Silhouette Folige. More about that later. And then there's an old favourite from the words section of the stamps, Fairy Wishes and Angel Kisses, and all of that on an abstract background. So let's get going. Oh, by the way, the cardstock I've used here, obviously you can see, is white, but for the demonstration, I've changed from the white multifarious to the cream, and I just want to see how it looks. I've also changed the colours of the inks as well, so more about that as I go through them. So I'm just making sure my card is in the middle. I'm popping it down on a magnetic sheet to make a frame. Now, if you haven't got one of these square apertures from Sweet Poppy Stencil, then use stencil tape just to make a frame right the way round, or you can use a ruler, because all I'm doing really is using this frame to allow me to put a pencil line right the way round. That's it. So that gives me a nice frame border. Okay. Next, I want to put in the abstract background. So again, I'm using a gadget here that's from Sweet Poppy Stencils, and it's their spreader, and I use this along with their paste and stencils for screen printing. But in this instance, it's absolutely fabulous for giving me the abstract background and for use with the makeup brushes and ink. You haven't got one of these, no worry, you can use a credit card, no problem. You can see this is well loved. It's covered in paint. Right, so I'm popping my spreader about about 2/3 up from the bottom of the card and making sure it's straight. And the colours I'm using are Selvedge Patina, Dried Marigold, Victorian Velvet. Now, in the original card, I used Speckled Egg, Picked Raspberry, Wild Honey. So similar shades, similar colours, but they're just different shades. So this is brighter, that obviously is blue, and I've swapped it for the Selvedge Patina. So let's just see how it goes, especially on the cream cardstock instead of this white. Selvedge Patina's first. Makeup brush. This is quite a wet pad, so being careful in the middle, avoiding left and right, just going across and then staying in the middle and just going in to a circular motion. And as the cardstock soaks up the ink, it will fade out with this circular blend. Not putting any more ink on, just coming down a bit, like so. That's given me a nice line. And then it's coming down into a fade out, which is a look that I really love. Right, over now, at an angle, Victorian Velvet. This pad is not quite so wet. I'm sure that's on there. Stay away from the outside edge, keep in the middle frame. Coming down and then going into the circular motion to give me the fade out again. like so. Now popping this, I'm trying to follow the original pattern or design that I had on the first card, but being abstract, you're not always going to get that. And that's the delight of being abstract, it could turn out to be a totally different card each time. So down we come with a bit more of the pink, another line going in, and then circular motion to fade out. Add an angle again, and changing to dried marigold. Again, it's not too wet a pad, it's quite dry. And I think that I'm going to go up into the selvage patina and then down like so. And then circular motion, just to blend it in. And then popping along now, like so. And this will give me the final abstract line that I'm looking for. I want some white space at the bottom, or in this case, cream space. Let's have a look. That's not bad. Totally different from the first card. But that's the beauty of it. But it will do. Pays your money and you get a different look each time. Okay, next is stamping, and I've already got my large stamp mat in place. So I'm just going to move these inks out of the way. And I'm starting off with the beautiful Garden Poppy, and I'm stamping in black. I'm not coming right down to the bottom. I'm not covering all of the stems or the length of the stems in the ink. Got a bit of surplus ink there. I want to cut down a good just over an inch I've taken off of the ink in the bottom with those stems because they're quite long. So this is going to go, I'm going to stamp it on its side. I find that easier. So it's coming up and we're down about just over ½ centimetre from the bottom, from the top, sorry. Maybe getting up to 1 centimetre, to be honest. And I think that that would just about do it. Yes, that's nice. So that's one flower. Now I'm not going to wipe off any stray black ink left on here because I'm putting red on the top and it will make it slightly darker. So it will give me an added depth. But it will contaminate my red ink pad, any surplus black. And I know that a lot of you won't like to do that. So in that instance, then just wipe your stamp first. Okay, so this is red and this is VersaFine Claire Tulip Red. So coming round again, oh, I might leave it this way so I can get a better look at the design. So popping this one down around about, it's got to come down just a little. I think that will do it there. Let's have a look how we get on with that. Yeah, that's not bad. Now I've got a bit of black stem going through there, and this is a bit long here. Didn't want that. I should have wiped the stamp a little better. But taking my trusty eraser, I can get rid, I think, of some of the black ink from this area. so that won't be so noticeable. Oh, that's better. And I'm going to add a little bit of red crayon. Just going to add a little bit of red crayon. See if I can cover up that stem going through. Can't really. So I think that will have to be part of the design. So we'll have to live with that, okay? It's not covered it in, but it's not taking my eye quite as much. Right, so that's the flower. The next stamp is part of this fabulous Silhouette Foliage stamp. You get two of these. There's another one of these with a different design flower on, and this one has got the grass, and the flower of the design is Wildflower. Wildflower from Lavinia Stamps is one of their original stamps in their catalogue from a long time ago. It's one of my absolute favourites, and when I saw this miniature version, I thought, oh, that's cracking. I love that. So you'll be seeing it a fair bit then. So I'm just going to ink up the grass and a few of the lower petals of this stamp. I think that will do it. And then taking a cloth, just going to take out any surplus bits of ink around it, and I think that that's about it then. And then popping that at the bottom of the stems. Now that's meant to hide the stems from the poppies and make it look as if they're all growing from the same area. So fingers crossed. Oh yeah, that's not so bad. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I think we've cracked that. Now the next thing is this Fairy Wishes and Angel Kisses, and again Versafine Claire Nocturne. And that's popping in there. I should move that over there a bit, I think, like so. I have to say, I am liking the cream. I really am liking the cream of this card. It does look rather nice. So we're there. So all I've got to do now is to enhance my frame around the outside. So you know the score by now, because I'm always doing this. Down we come, wiggly line. Wiggly line again. And again. Making sure my fingers are clean. And there. And then popping this down. Sorry about my washing machine in the background. I can hear it. I hope that you can't, but I bet you can. Oh dear, the joys. Sounds as if it wants to take off. I would sing, but I'm too old for that now. Okay. right, she says, raising her voice so you don't hear the washing machine going into overdrive. I'm done. And I'll just get my display board. So that's the one I've just done. And I love the cream. I love the cream. And here's one I made earlier. Now, this obviously is just a topper. So I've got another piece of cream cardstock and I've made it into a tent fold card. This isn't, by the way, multifarious cardstock. It's cream cardstock, but I save my cream multifarious for my actual artwork. It's too precious to use as a card blank. And I'm sure that you understand where I'm coming from. So I would just stick that on there like that. And this one is the white one. Slightly different, different tones, different look. What do you reckon? Oh, bring that down a bit. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I hope that you did too. I hope that you have a go at this. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I'll see you next weekend. Stay safe. Have a good week. Bye for now.